Sairam, we have Ravi Kumar with us today. Brother Ravi is long time been a Sai devotee for a couple of decades now, and also has been doing a lot of service work in Atlanta. And I'm interested to hear more about your background, brother. So tell us any story about Swami that comes to you.
First of all, Sairam, Aaron, I'm delighted to be here, and thanks to Swami for making this event. I grew up in India, and I know Swami from childhood. The first time I came to know about Swami was when my dad tried to join me in one of the Sathya Sai schools that was started in Rajahmundry in Andhra Pradesh. That was in 80s, you know. So that's when I came to know about Swami. We were not attached to Swami from the beginning, because I come from a family who worships Shirdi Baba rather than Swami. For us, Shirdi Baba is everything. So for that reason, whenever I used to hear about Swami, then I used to think, why did he put God's name? You know, that's confusing people. You know, so that was my impression. But later on, for my undergrad, I went to Orissa, which is outside of Andhra Pradesh, and I studied there, and I met my professor, who was a Sai devotee, and he had a great influence on me. So I started knowing a lot about Swami through him, and I read Sai literatures like Satyam Shivam Sundaram, the life history of Swami, how Swami is the same as Shirdi Baba, and that's how I got convinced.
Ah, wonderful. And tell us about an incident that has happened in your life, or any story that relates to Swami.
Sure. There's one incident which happened recently after I moved to Atlanta, which is very close to my heart. So I'll share that story. So we moved to Atlanta in the late 2014 from Connecticut. It's me and my wife at that point of time. We bought a new house in 2015, and I used to travel a lot for work. And one fine day, my wife called me, and she started complaining that she's having a stomach pain and there's a lot of bleeding. So I tried to call my neighbors, and they were not. Nobody was nearby. And then I called up one Sai brother. I would call him a Sai brother 1, you know, and the brother, luckily he also travels, but at that point of time he was local. So immediately he came to our house, took my wife to doctor, and she was admitted, you know, and after I came back, then she was under treatment. Still, her health was not okay. She had a lot of pain and so on. Again, she had bleedings, and we again went to the doctor. And I asked the doctor, she is going through a lot of pain. There should be an end to it. You know, what's the resolution? And the doctor told me, I think the best way, if you don't want your wife to go through all this pain, then I suggest that we take her uterus out. So what that meant was basically we'll not have any kids. You know, we were planning for kids for quite a long time, but it didn't happen until that time. And that was a big decision for us. And we came back home, and from my perspective, I thought, oh, I can't see her going through this pain, you know, let's, I think it's okay. If I'm not meant to be a dad, so be it, you know, I can't see my spouse suffering in front of me. But she went to Swami's room, prayed, and then she came back and told, no, I don't think that's the right decision. Let's hold on, you know, even if it means that I have to go through a pain for some time, so be it. That was her response, and I left it there. And this whole incident came, one of another Sai brother, I would call him a Sai brother too, you know, he came to know about this incident, and he came to our house, and he gave us a vibhuti which was given by Swami to him in the interview room, physically. So basically, the thing I want to highlight is, this brother doesn't even give this vibhuti to his family when they are in trouble. So only when there is an inner prompting, then only he gives this vibhuti. So he gave this vibhuti and told, hey, Swami is asking me to give this vibhuti. This is what Swami has given me in the interview room. So why don't you take this? And so I gave the vibhuti to her, and she took it. And this was in late 2016 or early 2017 time frame. So my wife recovered a little bit, but still she's weak physically, and it happened like that for until 2017. Come 2018, what happened was I went to a Sai devotee's house, and there was an auntie who was the mother of our Sai sisters. She asked me a question. Did you guys go to the doctor? So I was surprised by her question. Usually Sai devotees don't get into the personal details of any family matters, right? I was a little bit hesitant to answer the question, and I told, yeah, auntie, we went, because she was very much concerned that we didn't have any kids. I told the auntie that, yes, we went to the doctor hesitantly, and I didn't pursue that. Then she asked my wife's number, and she talked to my wife and asked her to pray. And from that day onwards, I know the auntie prayed for every single day for us, and that was one incident. And the third incident, and this happened in somewhere around mid of 2018, and we went to another Sai devotee's house, a close friend of ours, and then for the Dasara, which is in October in 2018. And my wife went, and she was talking to the Sai sister, who's basically a wife of the Sai brother. I would call him a Sai brother 3, and suddenly after the puja, then that sister told my wife, hey, I prayed for you so that you can have a child, spontaneously, without we telling anything, because and then a week later, I was on an extended Narayana Seva, and I was driving with another Sai brother 4, I would say, and he was telling, hey brother, I want to talk to you about something. And, okay, what's it? I asked him. Hey, I've been praying for you. I think you will have a child, and I sincerely, that's why Swami sent me to be associated with you. That's what he told. Come on, you're kidding, so don't. I'm glad that you're concerned about me, but don't worry about it. I just put it off. And in November 2018, my wife had a cough and a cold. And we went to that was and we went to an urgent care, and the doctor gave some medicines, but still the cough and the cold didn't subside. And we went to our primary doctor, and the doctor was checking up all the things, why the cough and cold came. And suddenly my wife told the doctor, I didn't get periods for almost 3 weeks or so. And then he went and checked the pregnancy test, and he came back and told, you're pregnant. You are pregnant. And that was a miracle, a shock for me, because we were not expecting. We were at that point of time, we lost the entire hope. Even there's a lot of pressure in Indian families if you're childless, and from parents and so on. And I had to basically go through all the pressures, and we both personally lost the hope. And the beauty of it is, after my wife became pregnant, then when we went to auntie and told about this incident, she started crying. She was so happy, and she started crying. And when we talked to the Sai sister, who told that, okay, you'll have a child, and she also cried. And when I talked to the brother who was driving with me in the car, he laughed for 30 minutes, and he cried, and he prepared some sweets, and he came to my house, and his wife was telling me that her husband was not that happy in his entire life. And that's what it is. See, and during the delivery also, there's one sister basically before the delivery, right? One sister came to our house and told, "Hey, we want to do a baby shower for your wife." I told her, "No, like we had bad experiences in the past. We want to keep it low." That's what we thought. And during the time of delivery, the same sister has been texting me, "How are things?" every 1 hour, and then with Swami's grace, in 2019 on July 12th, my son was born. And the point is, yes, I became a dad with Swami's grace. I'm happy about it. But when I look back, why should that brother give me a vibhuti, where he doesn't give the vibhuti to his own family? Why should that auntie pray for us as if I am their own son? And why should all the Sai brothers and Sai sisters cry when I told them that my wife was pregnant? I think that is what Swami is. Sometimes I go to Sai Center, I feel that Swami is that picture, but I came to know through all these incidences that how lucky we are to have these Sai brothers and sisters around us who are the representatives of Swami. And to me, that is the greatest learning. And if I have to live my life, I would want these people around me. And I'm blessed to have this love and grace, and I'm ever thankful to Swami for this.